From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Well, I got to warn you up front, I'm feeling a little extra zesty today, so you might want to grab a helmet.
Oh, give us a rat's ass.
From the Mojo Dojo overlooking Malibu Lake, here we go with another invigorating, action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the wrap. I'm going to define what a do-nothing Democrat is. Should politicians be banned from social media? We're going to get into it. After today, you're going to be a very dangerous person. Trust me. And I have a point of view about the view you'll want to hear because it's absolutely 100% the truth. Another round of head trauma is on the way. I've got the secret sound lined up for you. Plus, our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including What Say You and Bonk Bonk on the Head. Oh, I hear the applause right now. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, April 30th. We are now 4 months into the new year already. Wow, it's going by fast. All right, on Monday, I'll be doing the Rat's Ass Podcast from San Diego. As I kick off Mojo's Have a Good Time, but Get Out Alive tour. It's the first of 13 cities. Go to ratsasspodcast.com while I'm reminding you and check out the tour dates on the blog. All right, on the last podcast, I made a tasteless joke about Trump's assassination attempt, and in doing so, I minimized what took place. Now, because I'm an unfiltered person, prone to experiencing periods of advanced delusional schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, I tend to speak before I think, and my big mouth gets me in trouble. So know that I have inserted a cactus into my rectum and twisted it as punishment for my actions. And I want to be clear. I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that President Trump staged the assassination attempt as a way to ensure he got his White House ballroom finished. My apologies. God, that was hard. All right, let's get into the wrap today. When Joe Biden was president, he was in office for 4 years, and he took off 577 days. Yeah, the leader of the free world was on vacation 577 days. Let that sink in. That's 1 year, 220 days off, or about 40% of his presidency. Yeah, it was all spent with his tired old white carcass sitting on the beach in Delaware. Plenty of pictures to show it. And you can also Google it or any other search engine, and it will tell you the same thing. And we were paying this jagoff $500,000 a year to do this. Now, over the past 8 years, we've had the same jagoff as Biden in California with our slumlord Governor Gavin Newsom. He's been campaigning for president without announcing he's running for president for the past 2 years. We've seen him entertaining Xi Jinping from China. Remember, he cleaned up San Francisco and said, well, don't you clean up your house when you have guests? That was his excuse. And he's gone to some of the world conferences around the world over the past year. And when he's away, do you really think he's paying attention to California? Nah, he's not. Why would he? He's got his team of fraudsters working for him, including his wife. Now, Newsom has spent 1/5 of his time during his second term out of state, campaigning or on his book tour, doing podcasts all over the place. Maybe one day he'll eventually announce he's running for president. Then he can do it without shame. But you've heard the saying, do nothing Democrats, right? Well, these two shit for brains are your definition of do-nothing Democrats. Hook, line, and sinker. You keep electing these nut jobs and we'll never experience an era like the 1980s ever again. And that's the goal, to get back to the 80s. That's the goal. That was America at its best, at least through 1986 anyway. All right, the other thing that's painfully obvious these days is how much time politicians and their staffers spend on social media. And I'm of the opinion the racial divide that exists in the United States would come down to a low roar if politicians and their staff were forbidden to have presence on the socials. The government is the gasoline, and they use we the people as their logs. So how hard would it be for you to Google the name of your local senator and start demanding legislation that prevents elected officials from owning social media accounts? I think it's a great idea. What do you think? Other people have thought about it. They've brought it up before. I'm just reinforcing it. That is a great frickin' idea. Should we sack these sons of bitches? Keep them off social media, where they have instant warfare at their fingertips at any time. And it's really going to be up to we the people to pressure these bastards into doing our will, the will of the people. We want voter ID and politicians off social media. 83% of us want voter ID, and they're fighting us on this. Everyone who fights us on this, next election gets voted out. It's got to be that. Okay, we can't wait for term limits. It'll never happen. But let's get them off social media. It belongs to us, we the people. We get to piss and moan. We get to fuss and fight. But they shouldn't instigate it. Are you aware there are 5 psychological tricks that you can use that'll help you become a more dangerous person in social circles? Yeah. Number 1, if someone looks away when you make eye contact with them, they find you attractive. I always thought it was the exact opposite. No, it means they looked at you and ooh, they look nice. I like them. Ooh, I'm shy. Better look away. And it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is either. Number 2, if you want someone to tell you the truth, you got to make them laugh first. You know, once you make somebody look like a hyena, and they make those faces that they make when people laugh, they tend to want to tell you the truth. Now, number 3, if you want somebody to agree with you, you need to nod while you're talking. Just a nice, slight nod. Kamala Harris used to do that, but she did it after she made a statement. She would say something, and then she would nod after it. You're supposed to do it while you're making the statement. That's why it didn't work for her. Talking to yourself reduces stress, so make sure you have more conversations with yourself because it makes you more creative. Trust me on that one. I do it all the time. And number 5, if you want to know if someone's looking at you, you want to verify it, you just do a yawn. Just a, and they'll yawn too. Try it out. What you do with these 5 powerful tactics is up to you, but at least you are now armed and ready to go. Now, the women of The View issued a stern demand this week, and they said they want Americans to stop blaming liberals for left-wing violence. They want to be able to incite it without objection. Now, up until now, I've never shared my opinion of The View with you because it's a TV show, and who gives a rat's ass? I'm not their target audience anyway, but if I'm being honest with you, here's what The View really is. They're a bunch of dried-up old hags pissed off at the world because men find them to be disgusting. They were once found, fucked, and forgotten about. So now they go on TV, rally all the other dried-up, old, forgotten hags for a common cause because they need ratings to continue. They whip people up so that they continue to live the high life. But I got to give them credit. I will give them credit where credit is due. They have effectively turned menopause into mental pause warfare. And they're not part of the problem, gang. They are the problem. Told you I was feeling a little zesty today. All right, as you know, I like to scour the socials to find interesting viewpoints besides my own. I found this guy on InstaBitch with a warning that you do need to hear. This is Jesse Kelly on What Say You?
Democrats have plans. They have plans for what is coming. Why did I say, and why have I said before, that giving Democrats the House, Senate, and presidency is more dangerous than Iran having a nuclear bomb? And I will repeat that over and over and over and over and over again, because if you're an American residing in the United States of America, it is 100% true. Democrats taking the House, Senate, and the White House is more dangerous than Iran having a nuclear bomb. It's more dangerous than anything else happening, ever. Because they're going to destroy everything as fast as they can. Virginia is actually a great example of this. They ran Abigail Spanberger as being kind of a moderate, middle-of-the-road, normal Democrat. Why did they run her that way? Just to get her in there. She lied through her teeth about every stance on everything. I'm a moderate. I'm one of you. I'm this. And then she got elected, and Virginians are living in hell right now as every single communist policy is being rammed through, and they're thinking, what did we do? So let me read this. This is from the Morse Report. Top Democrat political consultant and campaign strategist James Carville just stated on the left-wing Policon podcast, when Democrats regain power, they plan to, and here it is, grant statehood to Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico so Democrats can unlock an extra 4 seats in the Senate. All 4 of those seats will be Democrat seats. Pack the Supreme Court from 9 justices up to 13, adding another 4 left-wing justices on the court. That would be 4 justices. As you know, they'd be Ketanji Brown Jackson types who would vote to protect the communist revolution. We'd never win another case. Another one, reopen the U.S.-Mexico border and grant mass amnesty to every single alien currently inside the United States of America. And this last part is the most important part. His advice to Democrat politicians: don't run on it. Don't talk about it. Just do it.
Learn it. Know it. Live it.
You would not believe where this man has hair. It's scary. Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the wrap.
And we won't be discussing that today. All right, well, my Pittsburgh Penguins fell to the Philadelphia Flyers last night. Overtime game came up 1 goal short. So the first playoff appearance in 3 years was short and sour, so to speak. And I expect a phone call anytime from my pal Philly Rob to rub it in today. All right, Houston took down the Lakers last night to force a Game 6 in Houston on Friday. I'm going to call it right now. There will be a Game 7 in Los Angeles on Sunday. Now, you may have heard that the never-ending GOAT debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan took a hit this week when both men shared their admiration for each other and pointed out what each one was capable of and not capable of doing on a basketball court. Now, you've heard me repeat what 9-time NBA champion Bill Russell used to say. That was, championships are won by teams and stats define the player. Now, I have access to AI, so why not use it? So I asked, based on that criteria that teams win championships and stats define the player, who was better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? The results, according to AI, are you on the edge of your seat? Because here's the truth. AI says Jordan was the greatest scorer and the most competitive player of all time. And LeBron James was the most complete and versatile player of all time. Based on the criteria laid out by 9-time NBA champion Bill Russell, which, by the way, if we do judge the GOAT by championships, why isn't it Bill? AI says LeBron James is the GOAT. And that is my spin on sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
Oh, that stung, didn't it, Jordan fans? Ooh, wait, that sting. Oh, that was fun. All right, listen close because I'm about to whip out the secret sound on you. This is kind of easy, I think, probably because I know what it is. But do you know what it is? That's the question. Let's find out. Here it is. All right, listen too close one more time. All right, let that rattle around in your brain just a little bit. I'll have the answer for you coming up.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, so what do we do when famous people do and say some really stupid stuff? Late night stalker Jimmy Kimmel got into some hot water recently for saying this.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
And he was met with some crickets. There were a lot of people calling for ABC to fire Kimmel, including President Trump and the First Lady. But you know what? I'm just going to give him one of these. Yeah, for being a dick about it. And another one, because Jimmy has always been a dick. And what the hell? Let's give him one more for being a wart on the ass of America.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, the next time you come home from busting your ass at work, plop down on the sofa to watch reruns of the TV show Friends, I want you to take refuge in knowing while you're out there humping at 40 to 70 hours a week trying to make a living, that Joey, Ross, Chandler, Monica, Rachel, and Phoebe are sitting at home on their collective asses making $20 million each per year in residuals. You heard that right, $20 million a year each.
Holy shit!
Yeah, well, Chandler's not because his estate
Holy
is, but
shit.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for doing nothing. Amazon Prime is considering bringing back The Apprentice, hosted by Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, it's in the early stages, but it could happen. Wouldn't you rather see ABC do it, though, and replace Jimmy Kimmel with it? Huh? Wouldn't that sound just luscious?
Huh? Right? It would. Jimmy, hear me loud and clear. Donald Trump Jr.'s coming for your act, buddy. Get ready. Bend over. It's coming.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. I can feel it. All right, L.A. Mayor candidate Spencer Pratt, who just released an ad showing L.A. Mayor Karen Bass's multi-million-dollar estate compared to his motorhome that he's living out of in the Palisades, where his house burnt down. He pointed out in the ad that Democrats live life in luxury while everybody else is forced to live in the chaos they create. Very effective ad, too. But anywho, Spencer's campaign just got a big boost from Lakers' former owner and now governor of the franchise, Jeannie Buss. She contributed the max amount to Pratt's campaign. How about that? Jeannie, who you thought was probably leaning to the left, Jeannie's leaning to the right now. A lot of California people are. A lot of Californians are. I know it sounds like, wow, max amount, right? It's only $1,800. That's really not even enough to get you a courtside seat by yourself at a Lakers game. Now that their relationship has gone public, Grease alum Lorenzo Lamas says Melrose Place vixen Heather Locklear might just be the most amazing woman that he's ever met in his entire life. That's what he said. Now, the two met back in 1983 originally when they did a photo shoot, very scantily dressed for Playboy magazine, and both of them say neither one of them saw this relationship coming. And Lamas also wanted to thank Tommy Lee for breaking Heather in.
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
And that is a sleazy slice
Who gives a rat's
of
ass?
celebrity cheese for you.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that was, I went right when I should have gone left.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
Don't go left too often, though, believe me. All right, you can send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com, and anything goes. The more outrageous and salacious, the better, and it's impossible to offend me. And I just proved to you that I am unedited, unfiltered, uninhibited, unhinged, drinking Uncola right now. All right, Brandon T., Reno, Nevada. If you were an exec at ABC, would you have fired Jimmy Kimmel for what he said to Melania Trump? Well, first of all, it was a fake put-on kind of thing that he did 2 nights before what happened in D.C. last Saturday. And this is probably going to shock some of you, but no, I wouldn't have. Because he said it before the attempt happened. There's no way he had a way of knowing that the madman that did this was going to try and take out Trump 2 days later. He didn't know. Had the attempt not happened, would Jimmy have been fired? Probably not. Wouldn't have even made the news. So if I am an exec at ABC, I want Jimmy to drop and give me 20. So I can watch that fat bastard die of a... No, I'm just kidding. Not going to say it. Not going to say it. I already used the cactus in my rectum once. Trust me, I don't want to do that again. Daphne G., Colorado Springs, Colorado. I just accepted a position as an operations manager for 8 radio stations for Cumulus Media. It's my first management opportunity. So what advice can you give me? Well, first of all, Daphne, congratulations on that. It's a big job. You're going to be busy. Say goodbye to your social life for quite a while. But first, your job is to motivate and support your staff by encouraging them to share ideas and bring them to fruition. And that's the most important part. Anybody can share ideas, but bringing them to action is the most important part. If you can do that, you'll have a lot of success. Now, you always want to be proactive and not reactive. In moments of crisis, you got to be the coolest person in the room. Okay, leadership is when your staff looks at you and you take that fear away from them because you're the cool cucumber. Okay, always be the coolest person in the room. Now, you always want to praise your staff in public. You correct bad behavior in private. And finally, this is a big one. Never, ever lose your temper with a staff member in front of anybody and in front of them. You can spend years building trust with your staff, but the first time you blow a gasket, you're going to lose them instantly. Okay? You've heard the adage, never let them see you sweat. Your temperament needs to be the same when times are tremendous and when times are at their worst. You're the coolest person in the room. That's leadership. That's good management. All right, Scott P., Ozark, Missouri. I've never emailed to thank you for giving the advice you did a while back, telling men to go sit at a bar and let the ladies come to you. Since I took that advice, I'm a proud member of the Bang a Babe a Week Club. Thank you. Well, I'm happy to hear that strategy still works in the, 2026? But in case you missed it, what you do, gentlemen, is you just go park yourself at a bar, and when a lady walks up to the bar that piques your interest, you make eye contact with her, give her a little nod, wink and a smile, and then if she comes up to the bar again and stands next to you to the bar to try and get the bartender's attention, well, that, my friend, is when you pounce. Yeah, there's a good chance her juices are already flowing with anticipation that you might be the man that's going to rock her world later that night. And you don't want to screw it up by offering some cheese dick pickup line either. Hello, my name is, whatever your name is, and ask her name. It's that simple. Hi, my name's Mojo. What's your name? That's all it is. It's that easy. And you're going to be doing the Who's Your Daddy Wango Tango in no time. All right, Rick S., Santa Fe, New Mexico, said, I heard my sister tell my mother, I love my husband, but I'm not in love with him. What does that mean? Oh, God, Rick. Years ago on my radio show, I had a psychologist, Dr. Laura. You might be familiar with her. She came on the air with me once a week, and we had a caller one time ask that same question that led to this humongous debate on air. Oh, that's why I remember it so well. It was one of the hottest debates we ever had. And the doc said women who say this or think this mean they love their husband for what he provides, but he no longer rings their bell in the bedroom and is most likely open to the idea of getting some who's your daddy action on the side. So I would say it's time to take your sister out to lunch for little brother-sister talk. All right, Carla K., Glendale, California, says, you always talk about Moose Knuckle Mike and Camel Toe Candy, but I've never seen a photo of them. When are you going to post one? Carla, here's the deal. They agreed to be fodder on the show as long as I didn't post a photo of them on the socials. They like their privacy, and I have to honor that. But if you can picture a 50-year-old Sylvester Stallone, and I'm going to say Fox News Dana Perino with a set of double Ds, there you go. That's Moose Knuckle Mike and Camel Toe Candy for you.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, we are playing the secret sound today. Have you figured this out yet? All right. If you said a men's, not a ladies, a men's electric razor,
Yeah, baby.
Congratulamundo. You got it right, but if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got to go. I've got to go. I got a lot of packing to do today, guys. I have no idea what I'm going to wear. But first thing I have to do is locate my luggage first. I have no idea. It's either in the attic, could be in the garage. Who knows where the hell this stuff is? All right, but first, let's do real or riffraff. Psychologists say it takes men twice as long to get over a woman than it takes a woman to get over a man. Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
The truth is both men and women get over an ex as soon as they bang someone new.
Are you serious?
As a heart attack, do you want me to spell it out?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to hear this.
Technically, women can get laid easier than a man, so women generally get over men first.
Okay, that makes sense. But you once said women tend to meet men from their past on Facebook and hook up before they break up. Aren't men doing that same thing too these days?
The difference is men typically wait until after a breakup before they look for a booty call from their past.
Interesting. Kind of sounds like to me men are better off hanging out with Mother Palm and her 5 daughters. I mean, at least they know where they've been. All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Stephen McBride of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Shane Harvey, Maple Grove, Minnesota. Becca Snodgrass in Toledo, Ohio. And Mickey Northcraft from Santa Rosa, California, up north. All right, and to listeners around the world in Vienna, Australia, Helsinki, Finland, and Martin in Slovakia. Fleabag, is that the first time we've had listeners from Helsinki and in Slovakia? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we need to give them some. Yes. Welcome, Helsinki, and everybody in Slovakia. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
It never hurts beating you over the head with that, right? All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub and listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass, Rock TV. Join the mischief at Rat Nation and connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Monday, May 4th from San Diego. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.